Hello and welcome back to Reactions by Jeff. Today I will be looking at Lara Fabian's Tango from her 2002 new concert. I'm interested to see what she has to do. She doesn't disappoint, and so let's see how she takes care of this song. I mean, Tango is obviously going to be a very physical song, and people in the comments have said this is a very sensuous, very engaging performance. So let's begin. So before she even begins, one of the things I noticed as she was walking around and getting herself set for the scene, she was very deliberate in how she moved the chair. Again, she's always about setting the scene, bringing herself into the moment, and helping to establish it for everybody else. My French is really bad, but the dramatic term I believe is mise en scène. And I hope all the French people correct me for that. God, meine andere Sprache ist Deutsch, meine Französisch ist schlecht. So, um, again, she does some really great things. She also is using her physicality to bring about the moment for everybody to see. She plays with her hair. Her hair is her signature, her item. I mean, it's something that defines her. Even if she doesn't know it, in my mind, as I watch videos of her, the hair actually is I don't want to say it's a prop, but it is part of who she is. It's part of that thing that helps set the scene. It's part of all of that stuff that surrounds the scene, and her use of her hair as a physical entity to help sell what it is that she's going to do is always something that I see in there. And again, she's a very physical performer, so I'm interested to see where this goes because she's seated on a chair and she's ready to begin, I guess. So let's go.
Mais qu'est-ce que je fous là? Je sombre au fond de toi. Quelle heure est-il? Quelle femme noire fait-il? Noir ou clair? Je ne sais pas. Ma peau se colle au rouge de ton sang qui bouge et qui coule vers toi. Je danse et je me bats. Et j'enroule mes chevilles autour de toi. Mes jambes se plient. Je contourne tes hanches. Sur mes rinces, je ta revanche. Je prie en vain, mais toi tu ris. Une soif s'assouvit, je danse ou je me bats. Je ne sais pas.
I'm stopping it here. I there's a she's just an amazing phrase queen in the way that she phrases things. She puts things together and how she uses like the grit in her voice and just she's it's tone and volume and and effect. So what I said in another video that I another reaction that I have is that she's really good at using her diction to get a lot of stuff across in a very short period of time. Um, she's not lazy in her use of language when she needs to get her message across. She can get that message out very quickly, and she's not afraid of many words in a short period of time, and she can use that to in effect to bring about the emotions that she wants. And again, everybody that I watch in comments and other videos that I see, they talk a lot about her ability to become the song and become the emotions within the song. And part of that is that vocal toolkit that she comes with. She, like Dimash and other great performers, have a vocal toolkit that they use to bring about those messages. And Lara Fabian has all of those toolkits, and right here, all those pieces in her toolkit. And one of the things that she's showing off here is her ability to use her diction and her speech level singing to really communicate the words. Nothing gets lost. I don't speak French, but I know that there's something important happening here. And no matter how hard I try, I can't find the right ones with the lyrics. And maybe I'll redo this at another time. But even without knowing what she's saying exactly, I'm really getting a sense of her longing and her desire and all of that sensuality in this particular passage here.
Tango, mi amor, tu me fais mal et mon sang et le bien qui me dévore comme mon corps se tord. Tango, mi amor, animal humain t'adore. L'un de nous deux est plus fort comme mon corps se tord. Mais le doute s'installe, je me sens comme en cavale. Violence de la course, ton corps qui me repousse. Tes gestes me rappellent que tu n'as pas sur moi le droit, que je te dois. Je danse et je me bats. Mais comment dire à qui, à quoi et qui je suis, quand de n'appartenir qu'à toi est le défi. Et sur ta visage, il n'y a pas que toi. Je danse et tu te bats. Je danse et tu te bats. Tango, mi amor, tu me fais mal et mon sang.
What did I just say about hair? While I haven't stopped, I also want to point out again, how she can use everything within her. She has approximately 2.5, well, no, not 2.5 square feet, but basically she has about 6 square feet of space right there. That's it. Like, she's not using a heck of a lot of space, and yet the stage is a very large entity, but I know every single eye in there is on her doing what she's doing, bringing herself down, crouching over, doing all of the physicality stuff that goes along um, with this performance. And not every artist would be able to do this, have that freedom with her body or his body to bring about this sort of connection with the song in order to bring the connection to the audience. That's what she's doing. That's that internal thought process and those that that understanding of what's going on in this particular song to bring about what she wants to see in the audience's response. And it's beautiful to see. I mean, not very many artists have this type of abandon structured abandon on stage to literally. I mean, I'll be honest, it may sound bad, but she does sell songs, and I don't mean that in any negative way. As a person who has watched performances and who's, okay, karaoke isn't really where you do performances, but when I've seen people do performances on stage, this is it. I mean, this is what needs to happen. I mean, I would love to see her do a Broadway production, and maybe she has, or a stage production of some sort, because I know that you get her in a scene doing something, anything, she will understand exactly the motivation of whomever she is becoming. And I always enjoy that. So let's get back to this. right there, her vocal scatting to reinforce what's going on the guitar. Again, I mean, she studied for 10 years at a conservatory, so she understands. Because she's been surrounded by music for so long, it just is muscle memory for her to know exactly when to step in. And yes, I'm speaking on her behalf, but I'm not really speaking on her behalf. Anybody who's been around anything within any profession just knows how to do stuff. An accountant will look at a spreadsheet and know exactly what to do. If it's uh, if it's an end of the year report, they'll know exactly what it is and they'll know exactly, it doesn't matter. If they've been doing it for 20 years, they'll look at it and be able to see things that other people won't. And that's the same thing with her. She has been doing this for so long that when she comes to a performance, when she comes to a piece of music, she innately can just sense from all the years of experience, all that work that she's done leading up to this, she is able to just understand the pulse of what's going on. And it is not manipulation, it is not evil, it is not nasty, it is just understanding and application of all the skills and knowledge and disposition she has gained in her collective experiences and education over time. Okay, this here again, physicality, sensuality into the body. She is now crumpled up into a ball of herself. And so again, I this is stuff that I was never taught as a choir performer, because when you're in choirs, again, like I've said a million times, you're taught to sort of stand and sing and bend your knees so that you don't pass out, not because it's good vocal technique or anything like that. You don't use your body to sell the songs, not in standard choirs. Even in dance choirs, it's all choreographed. You do your four squares and your lindies and all that other stuff, but basically this sort of stuff, this visceral physical engagement with music, and we saw this in the performance of with Josh Groban. There is a totally different mindset when Josh Groban steps on stage. It isn't about connecting his body to the music, it's connecting his voice to the music at the expense of everything else. And she comes from the school of thought that everything comes together, and that's what she was trained, and that's part of her innate being. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody has that connection with their body to do that. I'm 110 pounds at least overweight. I am not going to be using my body in the same way that she does, because it isn't that I don't like my body, but I know that it isn't necessarily the thing that's going to sell the song. But she just has that to me, she has an understanding of the relationship of her body as well as her voice. And she doesn't have to worry about either. And that's what I always try to talk about. And I don't always get to it, but it's always on my mind, is that her voice is not going to ever be a thing that is something she thinks about. It is so well trained, it is so well honed, that basically it is the thing in her toolbox that she does not have to ever worry about failing her. So she can use everything else that she needs to, because she knows her voice will be there. If I were singing You're Not From Here, all I'd be thinking about in that performance is, do I have 19 seconds worth of breath in my lungs? Do I have it? When I looked at her singing that, that was never a thought. I could see on her face that when she hit that note, locked and loaded, I got this. Thank you for playing. Enjoy the ride. that sort of confidence and that sort of charisma, actually, that sort of confidence brings that charisma so that that last note in You're Not From Here just goes. And we are drawn in, and we are able to think about everything else other than the fact that she's holding a note for 19 seconds. We are going into why that note's being held for 19 seconds, the emotion behind that whole long phrase. And we're drawn into her message. And she does that here. She doesn't need the long phrases here. She has all of those words and all of those phrases and a beautiful melody and a rhythm to this whole thing that she can use in addition to her voice to bring this about. And she uses her body to reinforce everything that goes on in here. And I would never become a vocal coach because no. But if I ever met somebody who was having a hard time understanding how to be a good performer, I'd show them this and say, this is how you take your body and make it into something. This is how you own what your body is, and this is what you do with it because your body is part of the performance, no matter what you've been taught up to this point. I talk a lot. I'm in a talky mood. I got too much Diet Pepsi going on in my body right now, but I'm going to let it go at that. Let me know in the comments what you think. What parts of this song just leave you speechless? Make timestamps. Put timestamps in here. Do all sorts of stuff. I really want you to engage in this particular song. Again, if you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please click like. And again, click the notification bell, and you will know every time I release a new video. And I blithered on long enough, so I'm going to leave it go at this. You have been amazing to follow me thus far, and I am really proud of everything that's gone on to this channel over the past 3.5 months, and I owe it all to you guys, and I want to thank you, and as always, be safe.